Autoweb. Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, Autoweb, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners Autoweb, to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Autoweb.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is L.A. Williams, and I am here on the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. And today, man, I was having a great conversation. Listen, sometimes, y'all, I wish that you all could get what we talk about before we press play, right? Before the music comes on, man, because I just been kicking it with this gentleman. Actually, we spent some time at the Internet Sales 20 group in Philadelphia just a couple of weeks ago, January 11th through the 13th. We kind of had, what was that, breakfast? We had Tony together. Yeah. And it was some really cool stuff, man. So we just had a ball there. I, checked out his presentation, man, the stuff that he was saying, man. I was like, man, dealers all across the country got to hear about this. His product is amazing. What he's doing for the industry, I think, is revolutionary. And so without further ado, I want to bring to the microphone. And I don't even know how to say your last name, man. I just call him Tony. Say your last name for us.
Avila.
Avila, right? So Tony Avila, man. Goodness gracious. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thanks, LA. Glad to be here, man. Happy to be here.
For real. So how was the Internet Sales 20 group for you? What did you get the chance to attend the VIP party, the cocktail party? What'd you attend?
I did, man. It was amazing. We really had a great time. I was there with my VP of Sales and Marketing, Evan Turner, and we had a great time. It was awesome to meet you guys and to really see how Sean was able to put together an amazing venue, especially the fact that we have all these challenges with COVID. See so many people still show up anyway was really cool.
Yeah, man, it was fun. And then we had the performances and everything like that. That was kind of crazy. Cool. It was just a good time, man. And then the food was good, and it was like I said, a real fun time. So now here's the thing. I know you've been in the automotive industry for a while. You said you got grandkids. I'm like, I can't believe it. Don't tell me that. I'm saying, because you sound young, right?
Yeah.
But where did everything begin with you, man? Kind of talk to me about how you kind of came up. I mean, what was you were telling me about your dad had a product or something like that in automotive?
Yeah. So my dad ran a company called Preventive Theft, right? Was the first window etching company out there, done really well with it. And, I got a chance to kind of be on his coattails, kind of learning and seeing, but also I seen a lot of friends and family, myself, we had break-ins and car thefts, and my car was even, was involved in a scenario, an arson kind of, where a bunch of cars were set on fire and stuff. And it just resonated with me to kind of bring something to the market that would help protect customers' property, help dealers protect their own property, and something that would just hold some value. So it was personal. It got personal, at some point in there. But I also was had an opportunity to kind of work with my dad in.
Well, man, thank you so much for your service.
Window etch business.
Got you. So when you guys were working together, I mean, I'm assuming you might have been like the teenage 20 years or something like that. Was this something where he was like mega successful and you guys were like millionaires growing up, or kind of tell me about that whole growing up process?
Well, early on, I grew up really humble kind of beginnings, but when he started to work with Preventive Theft, I got that bug, man. I got the bug where I seen where he was delivering a product to a dealership that was resold to the end user, and how it protected customers and how customers seen value, how the dealers were able to make some good margin on that product. So I just got that bug at that stage with the personal experiences I had, my friends had with vehicle break-ins and thefts and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, got you.
Yeah.
So it was just a whole, like a development thing, right? I'm saying,
go ahead.
It's funny because you use the term humble. I just be like, look, I was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is.
I was definitely in the hood, man, when I was growing up. Back when, I don't know, just a little bit of personal here, but when I was growing up, it was like my family didn't have a lot of money. My grandparents helped raise us. And it was humble, man. It was wood floors underneath. That was like just a dirt foundation. It was really, really humble beginning. But, I've been totally blessed, man. God's been blessed.
Yeah. That's good to hear, man. Because again, that's our audience is the millionaire car salesman, right? So these are people who you said you caught the bug, meaning the entrepreneurial bug. Like, hey, listen, I want to have my own business. And we talk all the time about how, car sales is like having your own business, right? But then sometimes we don't teach people how to have their own business. So the reason why I wanted to have you on the show, just as a successful business owner, of course, you're dialed in with the automotive industry, is so that people, number one, understand that, listen, car sales is one way to do it, but there's a bunch of other ways in the automotive industry, man. I'm telling you, will literally bless your family. So let's just talk about that. Let's talk about the end aspect of it. And then I kind of want you to go back and tell me how you got there, right? So you grew up, you know what I'm saying? You said dirt floor, like poured, like wood floor, all that different type of stuff, right?
That was the hood, man.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Humble, right? But, now you've gotten to the point where you made a couple of dollars for yourself. Want to kind of break that down for us?
Yeah. So I became really passionate when GPS showed up, I started a company in 2000 called Innolex. And that was way before it was affordable to use cellular to transmit that GPS data, right, to the end user. So I started in that using a replex pager technology to do that, and just caught that GPS bug, how it could really help customers, and not only in the vehicle management, but vehicle recovery, and as a theft deterrent to kind of keep your stuff. So that's kind of what my passion was. And I tell people all the time that want to become entrepreneurs of this business, if you have a passion and you have a drive and there's value there, you will be successul. Put your priorities right, keep God first, you will be successful. And that's what I did. That's the path that I followed in the GPS arena a long time ago, over 20 years ago, man.
Got you.
I'm feeling older as we talk, man. I'm feeling older, man.
Oh, come on, man. You're good to go, right? So look, but check this out, because here's the question. Exactly how successful is Tony Avila? Like, why should we be listening to this guy? Who is he? Right? Because I want to get the middle part after we talk about this. But I mean, what's success really look like? Should we really be paying attention? You say I could be successful, but what can I do? What have you done? Break it down to it.
So people measure success in lots of ways, right? There's the money aspect, right? Being able to pay your bills, being able to have a product that's recognized, family that you can work with. And I've been able to do that. The money, it's more than the money. Money's definitely an asset. It's more than
this money, is the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and we like talking about money. So tell us about the money.
Okay. So I've had $1 million months, I've had those kind of scenarios. And part of what I would consider success for me is to be able to secure a product that we can call as a company, as we can call our own, right? We have a sandbox that no one else can play in unless, they work with us. So that to me is one of the things I'm most proud about.
Yeah, no, I love it. And you also said, no, I just kind of wanted to pull that out of you. Plus you said, working with your kids and everything like that. Just tell me a little bit about that. That's cool.
Yeah. So, I've always wanted to work with my kids. I got 3 kids. I got, 3 grandkids. But I've got 3 kids. My 2 boys are in the sales and management, working with dealers to kind of manage our product with them. And so I've been fortunate enough to really work with them and kind of give them an opportunity to get involved in this in this product.
That's good, man. All right. So now we ready to hear about the price. So tell me about this, bro. What is this thing? You keep talking about GPS. You keep talking about preventing theft and everything like that. Can you kind of break it down? I think the company is called dFence, right?
Right. So the company is Innovative Aftermarket Group. The product is dFence. That's our
the company. Got you. So, Innovative Aftermarket, right?
Innovative Aftermarket Group is the corporation.
Got it.
dFence is our product that we sell. So this is to talk a little bit about a product. So I seen a long time ago that GPS is really becoming a commodity, right? Everybody could get it. Everybody was selling it. And GPS really did everything that everybody else's GPS was doing, right? There's only so much that GPS can do, right? And so I seen a long time ago that there had to be something more offered to GPS. So not a lot of people know, and this is really the value of what we bring to the table. Not a lot of people know, even principals. Not a lot of them know that when you get a vehicle coming from the factory, no matter what brand it is, whether it's Ford, Nissan, GMC, it doesn't matter. If there's a smash and grab, someone breaks the glass on that vehicle, nothing happens. The car alarm doesn't go off, right? Only if they open the door does the car alarm go off. Now, obviously, thieves know this, right? Thieves know that, hey, listen, nothing's going to happen. As long as I don't open the door, I can break the glass, steal their stuff, steal their identity, and be down the road, right? So what we brought to the table was a glass break alarm that could work with the GPS product. So now someone buys our product, they get 100 decibel siren goes off to hopefully deter that thief, but the end user also gets that notification on his phone that the glass break alarm has gone on. In addition to that, LA, we've added a camera, right? So now if a smash and grab happens, not only do you get the 100 decibel siren, you get the notification. Now you get real-time images on your phone, just kind of like video doorbell technology, right?
Right.
And that's hugely successful, right, out there.
Yeah.
You know? So we brought that to the table for dealers to resell to the public.
That's crazy. That sounds super cool because when you think about it, I mean, not only do customers have these challenges, but I've been to dealerships literally where, I might have a 3-day training or something like that. And then after the first or second day, they're like, oh my gosh, LA, this crazy thing happened where people jumped the fence and they, stole cars and just all kind of crazy stuff happened. So
it's crazy, man. It even gets better than that, LA. So what we've created can be installed in under 5 minutes. It's all plug and play. It's all plug and play. It is stealth. The camera obviously is visible. It's a suction cup that goes on the inside of the front windshield, but the customer can put it wherever they want. And that's the part you want the potential criminals to see, right? You want that visual theft deterrent that they can see, just like when they walk up to your home, they see that video doorbell technology and they decide to, go a different route. Right. So that's what we're to the table. Real excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. It just sounds like you guys got something and then I like how you said it's like, nobody else can play in your sandbox. Can you talk a little bit about, because you talk about patenting things and, all that business stuff. Most folks are confused by that stuff. Can you break down some of that stuff for us?
So we were able to, once we identified this niche in the for providing a plug and play glass break alarm and these extras we just talked about, we were able to secure patents here domestically in the US and 43 other countries with our glass break product, our video doorbell technology for vehicles. So everything is through that OBD2 port. That's part of our patent as well. So most of our I'll tell you this, most of our dealerships, 99% of our dealerships have the lot attendant install these.
Wow. That's cool.
That's a big thing, right? So they don't have to go through service. They don't have to go that direction because, as you know, every dealership has the service department is run as a business, the part department to run as a business. And if you have to go through those other businesses, it cuts into your profit, right?
Yeah.
So the dealership, most dealerships have the lot attendant put this in because it's low skill, it's easy to install, you can't install it wrong, and it just works, man.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, man, because again, that is one of the major deterrents from like bringing something in and all of that different type of stuff. Nobody want to deal with all that extraness. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about how customers want things convenient. Well, so do we, right? As the business people, we want things to be convenient. Right. So I like what you're sharing right there. So obviously, with $1 million months, right? You had to have gotten your business out there. You had to have, you got to have a lot of customers to be able to do something like that. How does somebody do something like that? How did you get your business so well known so that people are kind of like basically vying for your product? I know it's like you're the only one in the sandbox, but so what if nobody knows you're there? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So it's all about, being in this business for as long as I have, you get to know really fast. It's all about relationships, right? So most of our accounts come through agents, right? Whether it's IA or, all these, there's a lot of agencies out there that sell service contracts, right? Tire wheel warranties, those kind of things, because our product is mostly an F&I product. So we work with those agents to offer an additional product on their menu. And one cool thing about our product is it's non-cancelable, right? So, you have scenarios where, you're saying yes to everything in the F&I box. You're just happy to have a car, right? You're saying yes to the service contract, tire wheel warranty, the gap, everything. And you get home, it's like, well, I don't think I may not want all this, or may not be able to afford all this stuff. And start backing away from some of the paper products. Well, the dFence product is non-cancelable. They can't back away from it.
Yeah. And who would want to, right? Because goodness gracious, the moment you do, and now all of a sudden something happens to your car, you feel like an idiot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You don't need it till you need it, right?
Exactly. Listen, I tell people all the time, because I actually have a life insurance license, right? I teach about that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, who in the world need life insurance? You don't need life insurance until something happens, right?
That's right.
Like, nope.
I tell my dealers all the time, if you had somebody that had a car break in or their car stolen, you don't have to sell them on security. They're asking you about security.
Exactly. 100%. It's just what's on their mind. So I love what you're saying, man. All right. So talk about this. What are some of the most common mistakes? You build a business, right? And you're really running a successful business. What are the challenges? What do you see people doing that are trying to build a business and they make you're like, oh my gosh, why would you make that mistake? Could you break down to us some of the biggest mistakes people make when they're building a business, period? And what listeners, what I want you to do is to kind of think about what he's going to say and equate that to your business, right? Because you are running a business. So, Tony, talk to him about that. What are some of the mistakes that people make?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention auto dealers, you need an opportunity to do business. Autoweb is one of the largest suppliers of high quality leads, high quality buyers. At a 10% closing ratio, you will be at less than $190 per car sold. Don't just settle for what you get. Autoweb can fully customize your results through targeted markets and/or zip codes, and as a partner, you will get premium placement within search results. Who better to do that than literally the people that invented automotive internet sales? If you want to sell more cars more often and more profitably, then you need Autoweb.
I think just understanding the investment before you start up to begin with is important. And that's why I tell you, passion is so important. You really have to be passionate about it. It's got to be more than just, hey, there's an opportunity to do something here. You really have to be passionate about it. Passion is going to keep you through the rainy days, the horrible days, the days when no one likes you. Passion is going to get you through that. And me personally, one of the important things is just keeping your priorities right in your life, just keeping God first, and that's just what what's I found to be true for me, is keeping the right priorities in your life and being passionate about what you want to do. But obviously you have to bring a good product to the table.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that's that customers want. And if you're competing with a lot of other people, you have to bring the service aspect, right? So in my opinion, we have to check all the boxes. For our product, it has to be easy to install, has to be easy to use, has to be easy for register, has to be easy for the dealers to use, right? So all the boxes have to be checked. But when you can bring that service aspect as well to the table, it's hugely important. So if we get a customer service call, we call them back right away. It's not like, or we answer that issue right away. They don't get a call the next day or a week later or whatever. You have to be able to provide that service to our dealers and our end user customers.
You're telling the truth. I'm gonna just go ahead and relate it back to dealing with car salesmen, right? Because here's what happens. We get the lead comes in, and we know that somebody wants to buy a car. We go, I'll get back to them because I'm doing this, because I'm doing that, because I'm doing this. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you cannot run a successful business like that. People have other choices, especially in this business, right? People got other choices. So, you got to be able to do that. The other thing I heard you say is that hey, listen, you gotta, if there's a situation where, you're okay, you got this product and somebody's got a similar product across the street. Okay, how do you make yourself better? What is your personal value package proposition? And I heard you say, add the service aspect to it. Hey, here's what I'm going to do for you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer. You see what I'm saying? So that's phenomenal stuff. So talking about, mentioning what you said earlier about, listen, like just competitive, right? Competing against other people. I know you were mentioning before, I like to ask about books, right? You heard the Millionaire Car Salesman before. What book would you say is something that like really illustrates that thought process of how to, stop playing in a field that everybody else is playing and kind of create your own board game?
Yeah. So one of the books that stood out to me is Blue Ocean Marketing, or Blue Ocean Strategies.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked with what I wanted to do, and how to do it, which is separating ourselves from the competition. And that helped our company kind of be able to secure some patents that were unique in the industry, and really filled a niche in this industry on a universal, level. So it was really it was an inspiring book.
I love what you're saying, man. So now you kind of executed all these strategies and different things like that. I want you to kind of give me some examples of customers who, I don't know, maybe you've heard some stories about how, you guys have been able to help. Because again, the product sounds great and all, but where's the proof that this is like what really works?
Yeah, every week when you have, hundreds of thousands of products out there in the market, every week we get calls, in regards to customers getting their car back or having their car stolen. And keep in mind, most of the scenarios where a car is stolen, the customer has all they need. We provide the customer all they need to not include us. Right.
So you don't even hear about half the stories.
Right. So they have their cell phone, a desktop, a tablet. They have all they need. They have their own username and password to be able to intervene the moment something bad happens, with their vehicle. They don't have to include us in with law enforcement and getting their vehicle back. But for customers that forgot their password, or dealership that just got a new employee, he was not familiar with dFence, he wants to find where this vehicle is. It happens every week. There's a scenario where I can remember where a local dealership here in Arizona stole an Escalade. Is actually what happened was Escalade came around in the delivery, right, for the customer. All is detailed out, ready to go. Guy jumps in the Escalade and starts heading for Mexico.
Like in the middle of it?
Just hopped in the vehicle. The customer didn't even have time to register their dFence yet, right? Wow. So we're actually, we got, dealership called us right away, of course. We're on the phone with law enforcement. Law enforcement set up a roadblock down in Gila Springs, which is kind of close to the border of Mexico. They got the guy, obviously got the car back, didn't need to be even detailed. I mean, it was sweet, man. But something like that happened all the time, actually more so now, unfortunately, than before. So it's just crazy, right? With smash and grabs and carjackings and vehicle thefts. Yeah,
because vehicles are worth. What we tell our customers all the time, your vehicle's worth more today than it's ever been. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So people want to protect, right? People want that protection, and they want that theft deterrent. And it's not just for the theft aspect, but they want to make sure, if they go on vacation, no one's driving their vehicle, the kids aren't driving the vehicle. And with our D3 product, which is our GPS, glass break, and a camera, they want to know who is driving their vehicle. So parents go on vacation, there's, a house full of kids, there's one authorized driver. They can now see in their phone app, who was driving, who was in the back seat, with the friends driving the car, all that kind of stuff. There's so many aspects to our product, not just theft deterrence and vehicle recovery, but there's vehicle management.
That is crazy right there. That to me, you messed up a whole bunch of teenagers' summers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's, people want peace of mind, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It sells in any
man.
climate, peace of mind sells, man.
100%, man. All right, cool. So talk a little bit about why this industry, man, because I mean, obviously there's a lot of other, there's a lot of places where you could develop a kind of an anti-theft device, right? It could be like, okay, because like, I mean, I don't know what stops you from kind of creating Ring, right? The whole doorbell thing. Why so much the automotive industry? What do you love so much about
it? There's an opportunity to be really successful. You talk about the million-dollar car salesman and how there's this opportunity to be very successful monetarily in that industry. And that was part of the intrigue. The other intrigue is being able to bring your family in, right? Being able to bring your family in to work with you in the business was part of the excitement too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, man. That's awesome to hear, man. So yeah, this is just a fun podcast. I think for me, to hear about everything as far as like building a business and how you're connected with these agents and things like that. You are literally in a position to help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I know you said that was something that's important to you. If people wanted to connect with you, whether it was about getting a product from the company, I would say the name again for me.
dFence.
No, the company.
No, Innovative Aftermarket Group.
Innovative. First of all, I like that title, right? That's just that's just a cool name, right? So if people wanted to get a product from Innovative Aftermarket, or if they just wanted to, reach out to you for some, hey, listen, this is what I got going on. I mean, I just really think you could be a great advisor for business people, especially that even if they were selling cars, not selling cars, whatever the case may be, you a daggone resource. I don't know. Do you look at yourself like that?
I don't look. It just kind of happens. I get people that call me and want to get advice or want direction, and I'm happy. That's part of the fun about what I do. If you've been successful for a period of time, you kind of get people gravitating to ask you those types of questions, and I love doing it. It's all about giving back, right? It's part of the Internet 20 deal. It's about giving back, and that's the part of what I like about what I'm doing right now and having the opportunity to be successful.
Yeah, man, you are. And I just feel a different type of presence from you, because there's a lot of people who, I think they're all about pushing their product and all that different type of stuff. And they just, it's because they need to make the money. You can tell it's very surface. But from you, I can tell it's a lot deeper than that. Like, you're like, look, money ain't the challenge. The challenge is making sure that folks are protected. The challenge is making sure that, people not getting their property stolen in some way, shape, or form. But like you said, whether it's dealers or the end user, you know what I'm saying? And I also love what you said about how it's like, you don't even have to be involved in a lot of stuff. So literally, even though you get a story every week, there's a story every day that you don't get. You probably only get less than half of, what really. Yeah,
very small percentage. Yeah, very small percentage, because they don't need to. And our product, when they go to register, there's video tutorials, right? They don't have to read anything. There's video tutorials they just look at to show how the product's going to work, how it's going to benefit them, how they're going to use it, and everything's at their fingertips with their smartphones. So the moment something bad happens, they can immediately locate their vehicle, get involved with law enforcement, and get that vehicle back. Or if they get that glass break alarm that goes off, they get law enforcement involved immediately, because we provide them all the tools to do that themselves the moment it happens, because time is critical.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to ask you a question that might seem a little right? But I'm telling you that I deal with car salesmen all across the country, right? And maybe not these millionaire car salesmen, but there are a bunch of people who like video. Why would I create it, man? I don't know how I'm not good at video. I can't really do that. Blah, 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 blah. What in the world made you say, you know what, in order to make this as simple as possible for my customers, I need to create video assets, right, to help them to understand this stuff? What was that light bulb moment? Was it somebody told you to do that? Did you just think of it? Kind of break that down for us.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to have some good marketing people around me. I'd like to say I thought of it myself. I can't really say that, but we just.
But you listen to
people
them.
Rather, people rather watch a short video tutorial on how to use something, whether it's on their phone or on their desktop, because that's just the way things are gravitating to, right? So we feel like we have to make things as easy as possible. If the dealership has to do more than hit one button when they sell a product, it's too much, right? And same for the customers, right? Yeah, I mean, through experience, right? We just know this through experience working in the car business. It just has to be easy. It has to be high value. It has to be easy. It has to be something that the customer can use every day. The dealership sees real value at, and if the dealership sees value at, there's good margin in it, and that's what's sustainable, right?
Yeah, you are absolutely on it. I was having a conversation with Sean. It was probably earlier today or yesterday or something. And he was like, yeah, man, people consume 8 hours of video a day, right? It's just how information is passed from one human being to another. You know what I'm saying? And so again, even though you didn't come up with it, you did listen, right? Because there are a lot of people who don't listen. They'll be like, I'm not putting that. I don't know. Did it cost a lot of money to create these videos? Was it hard to do? I mean, break that down. I need to know.
Yeah, so I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it cost a ton of money, but it was definitely needed. As a matter of fact, we felt the need was so high that during the registration process, when a customer buys our product, it's in that registration process. We picked out 3 or 4 short video clips that they can skip over that part, but we put it there in front of them and say, listen, this is how this works, this is how this works, this is how this works, in a short 10-second kind of video clip. That's how we kind of graded it. It's an important asset.
Gotcha. I love what you're saying, man. And just so you know, audience, these were really impromptu questions. Don't even know I was going to ask this stuff for nothing. I just was so inspired because you are, I mean, I can tell it's all in you. This video. What he's saying to you is that, listen, with your product, how many videos you got on your YouTube channel or your site showing people how easy it is to do business with you, right? I think that's the question he's really asking. I don't know, but that's what I think, right? So, man, Tony, this has just been awesome, man. Give me is there any kind of closing statements, anything that I left out that we didn't talk about that we definitely want our Millionaire Car Salesman listeners to know about?
Yeah, just my deal is, if anything, keep the right priorities in your life and make sure you're passionate. You really investigate and really do like a self-examination when you are going to dive into whether it's a particular position or becoming an entrepreneur. Just investigate and make sure you're really passionate about, because there's going to be obstacles and you need to be passionate enough to endure those things that are coming down the pipe. And if you are, you'll be very successful.
That's nice. That's nice, man. So yeah, I mean, listen, what he's trying to say is you got to have a why, right? If you don't, because let's be real about the situation. If you don't care enough about you or your family or anything like that, in order to kind of go out there and do something different, then why should anybody just pay you? Like, life does not work that way. Life does not just reward you and then hopefully you find a reason to add value. No, you got to add value to the world, right? And then because you add value, right, people are willing to exchange their dollars for your value. But what value are you really bringing to the world, right? And so, listen, like I said, I know who I'm talking to. I know I got a Millionaire Car Salesman listeners, but you guys got friends, right, who aren't as motivated as you are. Get them to listen to the podcast, right? Share it with them. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to like this thing, right? Because, if they like it, don't like it if you don't like it, right? But just, if you really get value out of what we're saying, then listen, I just encourage folks to, listen, go out there and be a millionaire car salesman, because, listen, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, right? Would you agree with that, Tony?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, you got to spend time with the top tier people, right? You spent time with your dad. I'm sure he put you in contact. You talked about relationships. He put you in, in contact with a lot of cool people. And then you got your sons involved, and then, you got them in contact with a lot of cool people. And man, listen, you guys know, if you've been listening to our podcast for any extended period of time, we're all about family, right? So Tony, you fit in completely when it comes to us having this conversation about family. I just think that if we paid attention to, what was important, I was writing down my goals earlier today, And I said, man, you know what? My daughter, who is not even born, not even conceived. I don't want people like, oh, is this not even pregnant? No, she's not. She's not even conceived, but I'm setting forth goals for her. I'm like, yo, she's going to be able to do this. She's going to be able to do that. I do have a son. Y'all know he played basketball and everything like that, right? And so, but I got goals for, I know there's stuff he wants to do in his life. He told me one of his goals for 2022 was that he wanted to work on his mind, right? What 12-year-old says that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe some of them do, but I know I wasn't thinking that at 12. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm doing something right as a parent, man. I'm just excited. So listen, it's your turn, man. Listen, you've just been spending time with Tony Avila and L.A. Williams. Go out there and be a millionaire car salesman, and I'll check y'all out next week. Peace.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by Autoweb. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman Group on Facebook. We'll see you there.